Heaven stop the rain, and I'm gonna love you. Hey everyone, how's it going? It's I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a Veve OMI update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. For not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, and subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. Got a little bit to go over tonight. Lori Brenner, Queen Veve will come in at some point. Not sure 100% when. But right now we'll go over the OMI. And the OMI, let's take a look, see what we have. We did not have a lot of volume today. We were down 9%. I think we were down like 7% yesterday. We're down 9% today. We're down at 00091. And I don't know when that I think the next support line is 00080. I might have to get more. I actually could get. I'm at 181.5 now. I probably should buy here. I'm gonna try to wait to see if we go to 00008. But the volume is 500,000. It's 513,000. Chavez, didn't we have a couple million the last few days? Why suddenly now? Well, Bitforex has been down for like 12, 15, 16 hours, whatever it is. Not 100% sure what it is. They said it was unexpected maintenance issues. There was now on Bitforex, I had a buddy of mine move a friend of his OMI moved from Bitforex on Monday. So it was working on Monday. And then on Tuesday or Wednesday, a couple of other people were trying to move it. They weren't able to move it. And then that, I guess, kind of snowballed and spiraled. More and more people weren't able to move their stuff. And then what happened this morning is just, hey, we're down right now. The location's gone. And then people were just straight up banned from it. Like straight up couldn't get on Bitforex. So of course people started panicking, like, oh my God, is this a rug? Are they rugging? Is the exchange down? What's happening with my, my stuff? Be advised, unless you have like hundreds of thousands of like dollars worth of Bitcoin or Ethereum, your OMI is more than likely going to be 100% safe. Even if it was a hack, which apparently it's not. Apparently, according to Bitforex, all the funds are secured. It's just unscheduled maintenance that they felt they had to do right now. But even if it was hacked, a lot of hackers really like high liquidity tokens, so they could sell very easily. Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDT, USDC, whatever. OMI is likely not going to be on their list. So even if it was hacked, which it doesn't look like it was, just unscheduled maintenance, that's essentially that's what's going on. And now I introduce to you, you can ask any questions to both of us, by the way, the Queen Veve. How's it going?
Hi, Randy. What's up?
I'm doing well. Just telling everyone that Bitforex is just down for some unscheduled maintenance. It doesn't appear to be a hack. All the funds seem to be secured, and all the funds seem to be, yeah, they're fine.
That's good.
You don't have anything on Bitforex, right?
I think he has a little bit on there, but most of ours is already like, already me or already, off of there and somewhere else.
Yeah, no, it's fine. There's but again, I don't know when they should resume trading. I'd say tomorrow, but because of that, we're down about 9% today. We're at 00091. I don't want to say I mostly have my bag because I'll get hopefully a big payday in a couple weeks. I will, but right now I probably could get a little more. I'm at 181.5. Maybe I'll get a little more if we go down to 00008. Are your bags packed, or like, hey, we're kind of done, we have our stuff, or you just want to get one last buy-in before we go?
My husband's buying will never be done, Randy. Never. I think we're up to like 24 million, and like 20 million of that's staked, right? So, but he wants more. Like, he wants more, of course, because 4 million's not enough, So. So it's just a matter like now is time. It's coming up like bonus time. We usually get our bonuses in April, and we haven't done our taxes, which I think we might actually get some money back this time. So, well, I don't know. He's always buying a little bit here and there, though.
That'd be great. Get some stuff back. So you're working today?
I was, yes.
Okay, working. So on Twitter, which
I was in an audit like all week, so it was serious. Like it was serious. It was like earn your money time. So I wasn't on Spaces. I was one day when we were
Yeah,
like,
you were on yesterday?
yeah, but that was late. Was that later in the,
No,
yeah.
it was in the morning, maybe
I
2
got
days
on a
ago.
couple, yeah, I got on a couple times, but for the most part, I've been kind of out of it because as soon as I'm done with the audit, go downstairs, make dinner, whatever, and then I'm sleeping. So I've been kind of a little bit out of it, other than a few things. So,
Yeah.
other than Veve drops. But
Oh yeah, of course, of course. Oh yeah, we got Blade tomorrow. Let's go.
yeah, we
Are you
do.
doing? Are you going for the drop? And if so, are you using MCP points? And if so, how much?
Okay. Yes, I think I'm going for the drop. Um, Oh, look, check it out. What if I get too far back? I blend into it's like I'm in the Matrix over here. I love it. But okay, wait, let's run that back again. Okay, am I going for the drop? Yes. Um, I kind of had to be convinced though. I hate to say it, but somebody had said, when was the last time we had a big first appearance of a character that was relatively low number? And then I start looking back at some of the other first appearances, and I think at the very worst, and this sounds terrible, but it'll probably, $70 at the very worst. So, not that I sell anything, so I don't know why I even say that. Like, it doesn't even matter, Um, saying that, I think I will go for it. I'll spend a smaller amount of it. I overspent last time. We
On
way
which
over
one?
on the
Ghost Rider.
Ferraris. No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I put in like 26K and Will did similar. So,
Wait, the Ferrari, the Lambos on
oh yeah, the
the,
Lambos. What did I say?
the
Ferrari.
the most recent Lambo?
Oops. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so how much did you spend on this Lambo?
I put in like 25,000 points.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. I thought you didn't say points before, so I thought you was like she misspeak and put in $2,600, but all right.
Oh God, no.
Um,
No, 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 no,
so,
no. MCP points.
yeah.
So this time I don't think I'm gonna go as high, but I'm still gonna try to be in the game.
Yeah, I'll try to put 10,000. See, I mean, the issue with this is that, or not issue. So Ghost Rider in general, which is I think the last like first appearance character that we had that
Yeah.
was kind of like this.
Yeah.
In general, he's more popular in the comics. He doesn't really have any good movies. Blade has a couple of, at least one decent movie, and he'll be back in, again in the future.
Okay.
But we didn't get like Johnny Blaze. Like we got Danny Ketch. Danny Ketch is like his little brother. So even though it was the first appearance, it was first appearance Danny Ketch, not like the OG Ghost Rider.
Okay.
So this one with Blade, like this is going to be an actual first appearance, and there's going to be less of him, 909 instead of 1110.
Yeah. And that
And
was the
the
point made. It's a good first appearance, and the addition is low.
yeah,
So
yeah, lower than the other one.
yeah.
And the other one, the Ghost Rider is like $88. So this one at 50, yeah, it should go well above retail.
I think it will.
The Spider-Man, the Spider-Verse #1 comic, I wasn't really expecting to sell out because it doesn't really do that well in real life. But I guess
Yeah.
there's a lot of speculation with comic nerds about it,
Yes.
and
Yes.
that's yeah.
Yes. My husband listens to the comic nerds very closely, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm stacking on this one." So if he says he's stacking or he's going for it, then that's usually like, okay, I'm gonna roll the dice more than one time.
Yeah.
Because most of the time I'm not. If I'm going for it, I'm grabbing one comic because we have so many nowadays, and I pretty much stopped DC comics unless it's a really big one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, got a little bit lax on that. But this one, he was like, "Yeah, I'm hoping people drop it for $2-3, and I'm just gonna pile it up." So he listened to somebody. I don't know who. I don't know if it was Sleeping or if it was Comics and Crypto, but that was the sentiment. It was a very good spec comic.
Yeah.
One of those you put in your basement in real life and you wait 7-8 years and then you pull out a box of money. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's kind of
That's sick.
the idea.
I could picture that. So we had, all right. So on Twitter, that happened yesterday. I didn't really see it until today. Or I guess there's two things. One happened yesterday, one happened today.
Okay.
The modern investor goes and posts saying, and he's got like 250,000 followers over on YouTube and maybe like 30,000 over on Twitter. So a decent amount. He's been in crypto for like 7 years, probably longer. It says, when we get back to 1 cent per OMI, people are going to wish they had more. If we get to $1 in 2025, congrats to everyone who knew to buy early. So he's not saying that like, yo, we're going to $1, not this crazy moon boy, but just him saying if we get to $1 means that he thinks that's possible. And that's freaking wild to think. And again, he's not like a crazy moon boy. He just he really, really likes this. And then after I had reposted that, Crypto Rain had said on my post, there's a 70% chance.
I saw that.
100 billion. That is a 30-cent OMI.
That was bold. I don't know. Was he? Ooh, that was like Cavelli.
I mean, it was early in the day. He like wasn't drunk at that point. Like he wasn't like on anything. I don't think. Like so, yeah. That and
my husband told me that one, and he was like, that is balls, right? Like that's a pretty ballsy call right there.
And he's not dumb. Like if it was anyone else saying like, oh, I think we get to $1, or I think we get to 30 cents. Like I tried to do the math on it and be like, okay, 30 cents. It's so much. I put the percent at like 1 to 3% chance that happens.
Right.
So, but these two big guys at the same time going and saying stuff like that,
yeah.
Is there something we're missing?
I think Rain throws in that factor, and not that he doesn't research his projects, but he throws in that factor like where people forget just how fast a token can catch on, and especially one that has what it has behind it with OMI and Veve, that some of us some of us just think like that's crazy, but he just consistently contributes to that phenomenon of when stuff goes up, like people just start pouring money in it, and it's not as crazy. Now those projects are one in a whatever, but he's been known to find the one in. So God, I hope he's right.
I'm pretty, yeah. I mean, obviously this is months, if not, a year and a half away. But it's still pretty crazy to think if it gets to something crazy, next year in 12 to 18 months. Okay, well, I don't know, a couple of pennies should be doable this year, even though I still say like 1 to 2 cents. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. Well, it's always funny till it's not, like, I can't remember, is it Microsoft or one of those where they started off and they gave everybody a piece, including the guy that made their sandwiches. Like they had a guy there that would just come in for a couple hours and they like was their cook, but not really. He kind of, came in, took care of them, made him stuff. And so they made him like an equal partner, or, gave him a shitload of shares. And now he's like huge, mega rich. But at the time it was like, so what if we give this guy, a couple hundred shares, so you never know.
That's true. The thumbnail I put on this video was David, I don't know how many hours ago, like I think like 10, 12 hours ago by now. He had put out a post sharing Hypebeast, and Hypebeast is just it's like a Lego version of him. And he's like trying, like Superman ripping off his shirt and Legos are falling out. And Hypebeast, it looks similar to, what was that thing that looked like Legos? That we had like last year.
The guy that was coming through the art. I don't remember. I didn't get it.
Yeah, someone comment that down below. That'd be great. But again, it was Hypebeast post, and Hypebeast, and he shared it on Instagram. Where on Twitter they have like almost 1 million followers, which is great. But on Instagram they have 10.8 million followers. So if we have like a nice big partnership with them, that is boom. That was nice.
It's all lining up.
Slow. So Sanjay's been talking about, Mr. MC wants to talk about a big event happening next month. speculated a little bit last night that it could be my biggest, it probably won't happen, or even if they announce it, won't matter for like another year. Saying like, oh, hey, we're going to be interoperable. Our metaverse will be interoperable with Disney's metaverse, in like 12 months when it comes out or whatever. But that seems very far away. I don't think they'd announce that now. The other thing would be a Marvel announcement, like something really big at South by Southwest next month. Or it could be something else, maybe like Alibaba official announcement. What are your thoughts on what it could be that Sanjay had to sign an NDA for?
Oh my gosh. Geez, Randy, that's a tough one. I'm hoping all of the above would be, really, really good. But I keep my I keep my expectations low because, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but I'm kind of slow and steady, kind of is going to win this race. I think that's kind of what they're doing. And I believe the part about the first speculation about Disney and, some sort of something with Veve. I mean, that just makes complete sense to me.
Yeah.
Now, will it happen within 12 months? Let me sound like Crypto Rain and say, I hope it's like in 2 years so that the price of OMI will be low.
Yeah.
And they don't see, they don't say anything like, but do I think it is an eventuality? In my mind, I'm uber confident that is for sure an that is an eventuality. That doesn't mean anything, obviously. So, when it comes out, I don't know. South by Southwest, I don't know. Alex keeps coming up into spaces on that and keeps asking. Now, I don't know if this is just Alex being a troll or Alex just being, I don't know. But Alex keeps coming up in spaces and he's like, I don't understand. Like, you guys don't understand why is everybody getting so excited over this South by Southwest thing? He's like, it's very different. It's not like a Comic-Con, and I don't know, he just keeps tampering the expectations down for that. So that, I don't know. I don't know if Sanjay's just excited because Sanjay lives in Texas and isn't it happening in Texas and Dave and Dan are going to be there. I don't know, but.
Well, he had to sign an NDA for it, so it's not just going to be a local thing. They're going to announce something big.
I don't know. I mean, everyone's saying music and this and that, and we're going to do this, but I don't know. Alex has made it seem in spaces very like, whoa, you guys, you're getting way too excited now. So, I'm just going to believe him that it's not going to be like anything major for that. But traditionally, the months of April, like March and April, have usually been pretty nice, decent drops for us, right?
Yeah.
So, I could see some interesting IP coming out, some new IP coming out.
I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Only utility, another one.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
I mean, that's a whole different page, but maybe some OMI utility, end of the first quarter, early second quarter.
I expect that as well.
So that's my expectation.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Alex has many a time gone on and kind of tried to play the sleight of hand by redirecting us one way, and like he obviously knows what's coming, and it's not necessarily him lying, maybe him getting orders saying like, hey, try to play this down so we can under promise and over deliver. I can't name any specific examples. I feel like I've got that feeling before, like, oh, Alex said this and then this happened, again, just trying to do the best job that he can.
Oh yeah, he does that too, but I don't know. I don't feel the hype. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like they might be a little bit more hypey about it if there was going to be an announcement and kind of to get us a little bit more excited, but maybe not. Maybe that's where they plan on dropping it, but I don't know.
That'd be cool.
I've just heard a little bit of just kind of relax, like, we're doing this strategically and, with nothing crazy, guys. So don't be disappointed since, we are traditionally disappointed. I mean, do you remember how upset people were the last couple announcements they had? Like, which I didn't get because I thought they were good announcements. Like the one was the CGC and everyone's like, oh, we thought this was going to be something great and we get this. And it was like, that still was really good, And there was another announcement. I can't remember, but I also thought it was pretty important, and everyone was just like, "No, we want exchanges," you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It is so speaking of exchanges, the blockchain guys have gone on and said like, hey, this amount of OMI, like
yes,
81,000 worth going to BitGet came from a wallet that had like 30 billion OMI, and unless that's David Dan or Dr. Profit, that's likely the Akomi business development wallet,
mm-hmm,
and that just happens to be the amount of money that they would need for an A tier exchange.
mm-hmm,
So more than likely, I say we do get that.
mm-hmm.
My question to you is, do you think we get the exchange first and then they roll out the OMI utility, bronze tickets and OMI to NFT? Or do they go and roll out the utility first and then the exchange?
Mm. I think if there's a certain timing, they're going to get to the exchange whenever they have to. I think if it's not a matter of timing, only based on what Reese and David have both kind of said publicly and privately, is they want to really now, whether it's an excuse or not, since we have a ton of tokens that really have no utility, but are still on major exchanges. But I know that, specifically Reese has kind of gone out his way to say, we want to make sure that this is truly, we truly have utility. So I could see maybe a couple more pieces of utility, perhaps, before they list it, or, maybe a more, um, the market is turning bullish. I think a lot of people would already tell you we are in the
Yeah.
bull market. So, they got to get moving. So to me, if, even if they don't have that, but they have enough and they have to do it on X time, they need to do it. But I could also see them waiting until they're very, very solid in their utility position.
I would say so as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully we go and hopefully they wait like another month, because I got one more buy order to get, one more next month, and I hope it's still down here. I hope it goes lower, but
Right.
I don't think we have that much time. I'd say 3 weeks.
Yeah, and it'll depend on the catalyst for the entire market, right? So, like I said, if we're in the beginning of the bull market and they get in, and then, things just start really start moving, you have a halving coming up, et cetera, and then you hear people buzzing about things, and then all of a sudden you have your sister's brother's cousin's uncle calling you saying, do you know how to get this here bit dime, and you're like, because that does happen, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it does. And then, boom, and while you're in there, OMI has this kind of potential. And then the next thing there we go. So
yeah,
I don't want them to miss that. That's the one thing I hope doesn't happen, that they wait. And then by the time they wait and get on the exchange, the time has passed, to at least see some profit. Once again, I don't have great expectations like some people, but, it would be nice. Hell, I'd be ecstatic with 2 cents. Like I'd be running around my yard naked probably with 2 cents.
okay.
Right?
So it's like, let's say, I'm pretty sure that happens in like the next calendar year. So it's going to be the winter. It's going to be really cold.
Be out there. It's cold. But like shit, even 2 cents.
Oh, I have to. So I have to tell you. I now. I have $20,000 worth of bets going on that we reach 1 cent this year. I of course think we will. They all think we won't. And then this one guy, I won't out him yet, but he in like a very public chat room with like 20 other people, and I got screenshots, him saying like, Randy, we are not going to reach 1 cent this year. If we reach 1 cent this year, I will let you live stream me getting a OMI tramp stamp on my upper butt. I was like, okay,
Wait.
yeah,
What do you have to pay if you lose?
nothing. He just said it. He's just like, if we get there, I'll do this.
Okay.
I'll give him whatever if we don't get it. But that was just, somebody shared like my status saying like, oh hey, I have $20,000 with bets, whatever. That
Mhm.
OMI does this. and he just blurted out like, I'll get an OMI tramp stamp if we hit 1 cent because I know it won't happen. And he's like, I think we get 3 to 5 cents by like the end of the decade. I was like, oh my god, he's woefully misinformed about a lot of things. So I'll
Okay.
I'll have a lot of fun with that.
If he ends up with the tramp stamp, I will die. Oh.
Do you get a lot of people asking you, hey, what crypto should I get into? Like, are you known as like the crypto lady in your group?
No. I'm not the crypto lady.
You know what that tells me? It tells me that you're not talking about Veve and OMI enough to your friends.
Enough. No, I'm not the crazy crypto lady. No, I let Will deal with the crypto.
Yeah.
And he puts it in. I like, I like the other side better. I just do. I like the collectibles. I like the comics. He deals with all that normally, but he tells me enough. So, I know enough that I know what's going on, but to sit there and talk, deep into it, it's not what I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll say talk to Will.
Chago Solo says, hey, Randy. So yeah, any questions y'all have for Lori as well, chuck them down below and we'll get that bread.
Within reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, Will was responding to you today. He was the one on my phone. Like,
oh, okay.
Ask Lori anything. I'm like, what are you? He's like, it'll be fun.
It says, yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, so he was talking about himself in the third person?
What?
Where we said he was texting me and says like, oh, William has to
when
get
I
some sleep.
texted you and then you responded and then he picked up the phone and I was in the kitchen. He's like,
okay.
I'm gonna tell Randy to ask the queen anything. I'm like,
yeah, all right. We do this. I'm in. I had a dinner, but the reason why it was 9 o'clock and not 8 was because I had a dinner that I forgot I had to go to, and I had a couple of margaritas and I feel good.
Do you feel good?
Yeah. I'm good. Yeah, I'm feeling all right. Sorry, I love that song.
That's okay.
Yeah. Maybe that's something I would love if we could get on Veve. What type of music are you most excited to get? Like what's going on in Lori Brenner's cars in the Veve verse that you're riding around to?
Oh, that's interesting. I listen to a lot of stuff, but mostly I do like 92,000 like rap, like I mean, I'm like
Yeah.
Eminem, I'm like an Usher girl. I just got tickets to go see Usher, so I'm excited over that. But I also my parents, I grew up with a lot of classic rock. So like I know, Eagles, Seeger, Genesis, that kind of stuff. A little bit of today's music, of course, I'll listen to. And then Will, I don't know, like his music is like angry, like I'm like, this is not music. And he's like, I like to live to this. And it's like, I'm like, to me, it sounds like kill your mother, eat your dog, write your red in a dog. Like,
eat your dog. All right, it's a new one.
Like it sounds crazy. And then he listens to, oh my God, he listens to ICP.
I love them. Yeah.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Of those songs, and I'm like, did he just say he's with a dead lady? And he's like, oh yeah. He's like, oh yeah.
Their music is one thing, and obviously that's an expression of self, but their fans are, how should I put this? They're always a little off. Their fans are always a little weird, and you could like once they say like, oh, ICP, Insane Clown Posse, I was like, okay, yeah, I see that. You seem like the type of person that listens to it.
Does William seem like the ICP type?
No, not the ICP specific type. Just I could picture him listening to like Korn. I could picture him listening to Slipknot.
Oh God, yes. Oh God, yes.
Yeah. Which I love. So that'd be great. I don't know. I have such a weird range. I love Slipknot with Korn, but like I was listening to the Lizzie McGuire movie soundtrack on my way home from the gym before, and
Yeah.
this is what dreams are made. I love like the white girl music.
Yeah, I mean, I like, that, I mean, that's not all, but like, I mean, I'll listen to a lot of, even if, there are some country songs. Not a fan of country, but there's probably like, I think probably like 15 country songs that I really, really like, like Kenny Rogers, The Gambler. Like, I want to go play cards with that. Like, like that just gets me excited to listen to that song. There's a few other newer ones that are decent, but I'm not big on country, but that doesn't mean I don't, dislike all country, but there's a few. Even some classical music, once in a while, I'll listen to some Papa Bell or something like that, and I'll be like, okay. Yeah, I'm crazy. Like it's weird. I could go from like Led Zeppelin to Eminem to like Beyonce to Sweet Caroline with Barry Manilow. Blah, blah, blah. Like I can just um I go a lot, but most of mine is like 90s 2000s time period. That's when like we were listening to quote the oldies in the car coming home from family Dave and Buster's and
What year were
movie.
the oldies?
Oh, when I was growing up, it was like
Well, you
19
said we were listening to the oldies in the car. Is that recent oldies or like old oldies? Like
recent
what year?
oldies, like 1990s, 2000s
Yeah,
oldies.
that kills me.
And Max is, it's whatever they're playing, like Belle Biv DeVoe, like Poison or some shit. Like I knew all the words. I'm like, and, and, and checking out the fellas, like I'm like jamming. And Will looks over at Max because he's sitting in the front seat because he's learning to drive. So we'll make him sit up front. We were in the city, we were in downtown Pittsburgh. And he's like, yep, this is what your mom was clubbing to. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, it
that gets me.
was. So that's hard. Like when 90s and 2000 songs are like throwback Thursday,
Oldies. Yeah, God,
I'm like, ew. But my throwback was 70s. Like, was like that was what, I remember in the 90s you'd go and listen to 70s shit.
I can picture your mom being like a 70s, maybe get out of like Led Zeppelin, concert, and I can picture her being like a rocker chick back in the day.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. She was more rock. She was yeah, she was more on the rock side for sure. They were rock side.
Have you ever seen the Fine Bros? They have like a React channel where they go and they talk to different age groups. They talk to like teens, elders, adults. That they do like all that. Have you ever seen any of those videos? They had on an episode of Elders React. They had like a bunch of 70-year-olds, and they said, and they had them react to Elvis, just like, oh, and they all like lit up like it was like 1955, and they said that every single one of them said like, my parents hated Elvis. They thought the world was going to hell in a handbasket because he was, spreading lust, wiggling his hips, and
Yeah.
they thought the world was going to shit because of Elvis. I was like, oh my God.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what hurts. Like, I don't even think they have like those like radio stations. Like William even said, like, I remember my dad would listen to Chuck Berry, and that was like the oldies, like those kinds of songs. He's like, can you even find those kind of oldies? I'm like, no, I don't think so. I think the oldies are like maybe the 70s is the oldies. I don't know. That was 50 years ago, right? I mean,
yeah, it is oldies.
It is.
I mean, I still like. I remember. I don't know what like came or got over me. I remember I was living in Massapequa at the time. I had at my friend's house. He just has like a hammock that overlooks like this canal that leads into like the sea, and I had a bunch of Bud Light Platinums. I just liked a bunch of these old, like I had Elvis on there, like the 50s, like the malt candy shop, the malt
Oh
shop
yeah,
type of
yeah, yeah.
songs.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I love that. You ever listen to like Frankie Lyman? He's like so, Why Do Fools Fall in Love?
Oh, yeah. I like
You ever
that
see
song.
that movie?
Yes, but I can't remember it, but I know I liked it.
It was wild. Yeah, I love that movie. That's wild.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. Like some of these songs have stayed relevant because they play them in movies and stuff. So we know that, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of, I think, still classics out there that people still know. And now I can't think of one right off the top of my head, but that we've heard in just in movies and stuff.
I see a lot of songs getting really revamped on TikTok. Like I remember
Yeah.
last year, people were going and showing pictures of like their dads or even themselves, and the song was "I'm just a teenage dirtbag," like that
Oh,
song.
okay.
The one
I
that I was
got you.
singing at the event. I don't know why I was singing that at the Gold Silver Logo event at Sanjay's event last year at New York Comic Con.
Mhm.
I don't know. People have made comment about that. Like, stop singing that song. Like, it's a great song. Um, the other one was ABBA, Angel Eyes. Sometimes when I'm lonely, I sit and think about him, and it hurts to remember. Oh, you don't know that song?
I don't know that song.
Yeah, it's big on TikTok now, and I was like, I feel like TikTok is like this conduit for like 80s music or 90s music, and now kids are like going and they're doing dances and they're doing like slideshows to like all these songs.
I get that.
I'm curious to see what happens with the Apple Vision Pro glasses and how like TikTok evolves from that.
Fun. It's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun.
I can't wait to get them. I can't wait to get
Ugh,
them.
I can't wait either because you figure by the time they get everything flushed out, like I could be like 20, 30 years and I'll be like really old, but I won't need my body. I could just do shit in my head. So like even if I can't ski down a mountain, they're gonna make it so damn good that I'm gonna think I am. What
That'd
do
be
you
fun.
think?
It's
What
gonna
do
be
you
so crazy good, even just like 10 years, much less, and when we're all old and
Yeah. Like I think about the self-driving cars, like I need one so bad. But it's like how many, like elderly people and stuff can't drive their cars anymore. It'd be so nice just to like car take me. So I'm really looking forward to that too. For
that
me,
works.
like when I'm old, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Seems like a
I
good
mean,
improvement.
yeah, keep your independence a little bit more. If you don't
Mhm.
drive, you can. But that, I mean, it shouldn't be that hard for older people to figure, especially now that we're, us now are fairly in tune with technology and we're around when full self driving
Right.
is. We know that technology. It's not going to be like a new technology in 30 years, and we're not going to be able to figure it out because we'll be the OFs. Um, I wonder how that would work with people now, where they get like a full self-driving car, and then let's say their kids are just a-holes, and they're like, "All right, mom, I'll send you to, bingo," and then they send them to like another part of town, and
That'd
they're
be
all lost.
great. Well, wait. If they get lost?
No, like if they send them to like another part of town that's not at bingo, and then they don't have a phone, they can't dial for help, they can't figure. But yeah, that would be great if they just hey mom, I'll send you to bingo. But I feel like the bad part about that is if you make a mistake and you send them to not just the wrong part, but like the wrong part of town across this that side of the tracks, and suddenly they're this old person and there's a
I
bunch
get
of
that. I get that. But I could totally see that in the future. You know,
well,
I think I
there was
can't
a
wait.
woman that she took a Tesla somewhere, and she like had a heart attack while it was like driving, and she showed up her location like dead, like she was gone. um I don't know how that's gonna affect like medical stuff.
Yeah,
Maybe it's kind of like an Apple iWatch or something that could connect
that's what
to
I
it.
was just thinking. Yeah, that they had a commercial out I don't know, about 6 months ago, a year, where they were talking about how they could save people's lives, etc. That's not a bad. I could really see that progressing too. We had a like a truck that was broke down on the highway for like 2 days, and then when they finally realized and went to it, the driver had pulled over and he was like dead, just in his truck, dead, so I guess the iWatch would have helped.
Did I ever tell you about the time I was driving upstate and it was snowing? It wasn't the snow lasted. This storm lasted like all weekend, and I like got caught. But the first part, it was snowing, and I'm in like my shitty Honda Civic that doesn't do well in the snow, so I'm going like 50 miles an hour on this like 65, 70 mile an hour like highway road. And
Okay,
this
no, you haven't.
so this truck, like, I can tell really wants to go past me, so I like kind of pull over a little bit where I'm half on the road and half on the shoulder, and he goes
Hmm.
past me, and I don't see him for I don't know, X amount of miles, and then as I'm still on this road, I go in, and that truck is pulled over to like the shoulder all the way, and it kind of looks intentional and it kind of doesn't. I was like, is he okay? Did he like skid? And so I pull up like behind him, and then I get to I decide to go like check up on him, see if he's all right. And there were three coyotes like at the front of like I'm at the front of my car in the back of like towards this truck, and there were three like coyotes like at the front of his truck, and like they see me, and I was like, fight or flight, fight or flight, fight or flight. I don't know like what I was gonna do, and I didn't hear a shot. I didn't hear any type of pew pew, but the lead coyote just goes, he yelps and just like collapses, and I was like, what the fuck? So I immediately I don't know if anyone's shooting. I just get back in my car, and I bounce. The guy in the truck seemed like he was just texting on his phone, so that was fine. But that was the weirdest experience I think I ever
Who
had.
shot the coyote?
I don't know if I didn't see any blood. I heard him yelp and then just like collapsed. I don't know if he had like an aneurysm or whatever. If coyotes get that. Um, it was so strange. I finally pull into town like an hour or two later. I go to a diner that did not have alcohol. I'm like, of course. Um, and then I call my friend. I was like, I gotta tell you what just happened, and it's like that's weird. And yeah, I don't know, it's strange. You ever go on like big road trips where things happen? It's like, strange.
Yeah, I've had a lot of weird shit happen. So, all right. So my mother and I are both big animal activists, big
Mhm.
time. Like we really love animals, and if I see an animal in trouble, like I'll pick whatever. Like that's just what I do. Um, I'm not out looking for animals or anything, but if something happens. So
Yeah.
she had a dog at the time, and she sees a dog that looks like it needs fed. She pulls over, she puts food out, the dog comes up and is eating the food, whatever. Well, long story short is it was a rabid coyote.
Oh, it had rabies.
It was rabid. Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
why it was
god.
like out in the public and stuff. Like she thought that because like she saw it on like the side of the road and she was like, "Come on, puppy." And like she thought it was a dog. And she had dog food because she had a dog in her trunk.
Yeah.
So she like takes the dog food out and the dog was, or the coyote was fine. But then like a couple of days later, she found out, she's like, oh my God, there was a rabid coyote that they right where she had fed the thing. And she's like so lucky. So yeah,
Oh,
we've had that. Um, I remember I was visiting a friend at a college, Mercyhurst. It's up near Erie, PA. And I just started driving. And you know how when you drive and birds are like out in the road or whatever, they fly away before you get there. So you don't even really need to kind of slow down or stop when a bird is there, right? Because they go away. Well, I was up there visiting her and I was bringing her back home, and we get like near the exit and these birds are like just walking like on the road. It wasn't like on the school road. And I'm just so used to the bird will move. didn't
And
move.
then they didn't move.
It didn't move. She's like, oh my God, what are you doing? Those are the school peacocks or whatever the hell they were. I had
Oh, they're
feathers.
peacocks?
Or I'm not peacocks. I don't know
I
what
said
they
peacocks
were.
don't fly.
No, they just walked. And they were
Oh,
big, and I guess they were old, and they lived at the college. And she's like, just go, just go, just go. And I'm like, oh shit, okay. She's like, because I'll get in so much trouble with the nuns, because it was a
the nuns.
so like I flee. I get back to PA, and my husband, he's like, the front of the car was just like mangled, and like it had like feathers. It was like that poor bird really got it. That I didn't realize that like everybody just stops for these birds, and I killed it. So I feel really bad about that. I didn't mean to kill the bird.
Yeah.
Road trips,
Maybe it was just old and it was sick, and you just put it out of its misery. You Dr. Kevorkian that.
No,
It was
there
out.
were a couple. There were a couple in the road.
Oh, all right. Never mind. The my much less violent story where bugs, it was bugs, so they weren't like sentient animals.
Mhm.
I was driving to Ohio in like 2011, and we left pretty early in the morning, like 7, 8 in the morning, whatever. And, with stopping for gas, it took us like maybe 13 hours to get there. So we arrived kind of at night,
Okay.
and there were a bunch of fireflies out. And I guess what happens when fireflies die or they get smashed, when the windshield is going, the car's going 50 miles an hour, and they
Yeah.
like crash in the windshield, and then they glow for a couple
Mhm.
seconds.
Mhm.
And it was just really cool to see like 15 different glowing things on my car. So yeah, much
Yeah.
less violent.
Yeah, that is a much less violent. Now, did I ever tell you the story about the one-legged goose?
I don't believe so. Comey Scholar says, "What is hype beast, guys?" So hype beast is something that David was going and talking about. I won't go. I'll just go on their Instagram right now. Driving culture forward. They just have a lot of interesting art. Their most recent post is about Takashi Murakami, Mononoko Kyoto, who is a what is he? He is a not only Mark's artist's latest large-scale solo exhibition in Japan, but also the first one in 8 years, held at Kyoto Something Museum. The showcase sees over 160 new works created for the museum's 90th anniversary, and they just do a bunch of stuff like that. So it seems like a lot of high-end art that they do, and I'm hoping that's what David was teasing. And with Megan saying $500 for Chavi to shave his beard, 2K to buy his hat. This is my special hat, but I will let it go for 2K. 500 for 500 will shave my beard. Thanks, Meg. Um, what were you talking about? The one-legged goose.
The one-legged goose. So we had this poor one-legged goose, and it was hanging out where we worked because there's like a little creek or creek, depending on where you are. What do you say, creek or creek?
Creek.
Creek. Okay.
Yeah.
It was along the creek there, and it hadn't flown south for the winter, so everyone it kind of hung out like in our like little patio area and in the creek and in the little woods there. And there was a woman that got really attached to this goose, and she started feeding the goose and kind of just caring for it. But the goose was fine. I mean, he flew fine. He got food. He seemed to do perfectly well. Landings were a little rough, but he still made it. Like he was still okay. Well, I don't know what the hell she was thinking, but after a couple months, she had called like the animal people and said, "Hey, there's this poor goose. It's only got one leg. You guys need to do something. You guys need to come save it, whatever." Well, they didn't come out. Then they come out. Well, finally, after like months of her like kind of taking care of the goose, she called again and she's like, "Are you guys going to come and help this thing? It needs help." And it really didn't. That's the sad part. It was a functioning handicapped one-legged goose. Like it was fine. But she called them like third time. She finally called them. It came down. They like, parked like right up against the creek. They went down looking for this goose. One shot was fired, came back with goose, threw goose in the back of the thing, and took off. She was destroyed. Like, she cried. She had to go home from work because I don't know what she thought was going to happen. But whenever the animal control people came, they took it as this. And I don't know if she thought they were going to like bring it back to the goose habitat or something. But they just basically said, we've had several calls that this thing, and that was their answer. And they shot the goose. So, that poor goose. But see, she was trying to do good. So if you're trying to help a one-legged goose, don't call animal control.
In the military, we had a rule that you could not have pets in the dorms or the barracks, and it didn't say that. All right, so obviously no dogs, no cats, or there were cats on base. They kind of just rid the base of mice, which was cool.
Right.
But they wouldn't really hang out. There were deer on base too, but there was no rule saying that wild animals couldn't roam about. So we had this duck named Colonel McQuackums, and Colonel McQuackums is he was just our base duck that we kind of let him hang out in the dorms, and we would feed it. He was like our mascot.
Oh,
That was a good time.
did he do it? Like, did he come to people or like respond or?
Yeah, he was chill.
Was he like a pet-ish?
Yeah, he was like a bro. Yeah.
Really?
So they would do like room inspections every now and then. And it would always be like the new guy. We would like make him like on his day off, sit outside and have him watch for like senior enlisted people to come in. And then, okay, they're coming. All right, which way are they coming up the buildings? If they come up this way, they'll do these rooms first. So we'll put the duck in like another room.
Right.
And after they do that room, they'll go around the building and put him back in. So it was good.
Did the duck have a pond?
There was a couple bodies of water on base. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm surprised that there weren't more. Like, he didn't tell like his duck friends about this, because we had a bunch of stuff.
Like, you were feeding them. It was a good place to come.
Yeah, it was nice. I don't know. I have like those storybook fantasies where like we pick up like a duck like this, and then he brings us his family, and then we have like a duck clan under our command. But I think they would shut that down.
Speaking of RoboCop, are you?
Yeah.
Do you have a RoboCop?
I do not have a RoboCop. What is he now? Like $80 something?
That's what I'm looking at right now. I'm looking to see what he is right now to change our duck stories. He is at $100.
Is $100?
Yes, there's $100 on the floor.
Damn. Yeah, I can't do it. I gotta wait for the Marvel Mighties. I got yeah.
Yeah, because those 11, 18s, and 17s have been around for a while. So I've been tempted. I have to tell you, I've been tempted to go in and pick up a RoboCop, but I have not.
I mean, if you go and you get I think it's probably a good idea, because when you get the jetpack, the jetpack is only $40. You burn the jetpack, and then you get another RoboCop with the jetpack. So you essentially get two RoboCops for, I mean, it's the price of two, because it's $100. Then you have to spend the $40. But yeah, I like that.
Now Will has a RoboCop, so.
So you could just spend the $40 on the jetpack, burn the jetpack, and then now he has two RoboCops.
Now he has two RoboCops. Yes. Yeah. So are you going to go for the jetpack, or are you just going to sit that out?
I'm probably going to sit that out.
Yeah.
I'll go for Blade tomorrow. I'll go for I was how people go and they say I don't know, like show me your friends and I'll show you type of deal. Like the people you spend the most amount of time with, you'll kind of go and it averages out, and you're kind of you start taking on each other's personalities a little bit.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. I thought you
So I
were
was
going
in,
somewhere else with the show me your, but I
oh
thought you.
no, um,
Um,
so I was in Ohio this week, and I normally, the gamble for the Lambos are usually, like kind of gambling, and I kind of say, well, because
right.
it's an expensive gamble. It's not like a
Oh yeah.
Marvel Mighty. It's $13, $7. So, I gambled on 2 Lambos this weekend, and I mean, I got 2 ultra rares, so they weren't like commons or rares, whatever. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like the
I
more
got a
time I
rare.
spend,
I
yeah,
got
the
a
more times I spend with people with money makes me want to spend more money. It's like, oh, well, probably shouldn't do that.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
impressionable though.
I know. Sometimes though, you just have to. You know what I mean? Like you just want to
Yeah,
press the button, right? You just need it like a little, just a little bit.
yeah. The
But
the
two
big
uncommons isn't bad. Will gun or ultra rares. Will got an ultra rare. I got a rare. It's okay. I mean, it's still a Lambo, right? Randy, I can't hear you. Randy, I cannot hear you.
uh, can
Nope,
you hear me
you're
now?
back. Now I
Can
can
you hear
hear
me
you.
now? Okay,
I can
cool.
hear you now.
I wanted the gold dragon, the one that we got a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
It's $650. It's a lot of
Ooh,
money. So I don't. Yeah, that could be a nice amount of OMI.
that's the
Um,
problem. Everything has to be compared to crypto, right?
yeah, it shouldn't, but yeah. Potential human asks, Lori, who do you want to see as a Steelers QB this year?
Mm. Wait, who do I like? Wait, he's gonna have to clarify. Like, is he saying like who's already there, or who do I like? Who do I wish for?
I mean, out of the people that they have, unless they get a trade in the offseason, or I don't know if they have. I mean, is there any QBs that are free agents that they can scoop up?
That's a good question. I really don't know who's out there right now. I don't. I mean, we have Rudolph. We have Mason, who did a pretty decent job last year. Um, I don't know. It's so hard if you don't have like the quarterback. We've just been so blessed. You know what I mean? Like with Big Ben, and now it's just like they still do well, but I don't think the guys that we have now. I don't think we're gonna have a savior. That quarterback. So I don't know. I don't know. I want to see. I want to see Tom Brady come back one more time.
I was very hopeful in after first week in last year when Aaron Rodgers got hurt, like get Brady back, get him on the Jets,
I
and
know.
then
I know.
he didn't.
Brady. How old do you think it'll be before people quit asking for him?
I mean, how old
Like,
is he?
like, no. How old do you think he'll be before people start asking? Like, even now, like, what is he? 47,
Oh
6?
God, is he that
Like,
old?
isn't he?
Oh, I don't. Oh, he's 46.
Okay.
Yeah, we gotta let him rest, man. He's.
I know. I know, but like, I think if he was like, I'm 50 and I'm in good shape, give me a team, I'd be like, yeah, bring him.
I mean, the thing about him is that he can still throw. He could still move a little bit. It's just getting hit by these like 25-year-old 350-pound. That's gonna hurt a lot more.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, I remember when Vinny Testaverde was on the Jets the second time. The first time like 98, 99, he
Mhm.
was old, but he was good. And then he came on the Jets like 8 years later, and he's like late 40s, and it was just the refs were really cool. Every time he was like getting
Yeah.
caught up, like, oh no, stop, you're gonna kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brady's a. I also don't know if you want to, that's like people's like legends. That's like people's like heroes. Do you want to see him like not be able to do it, and like it's like an old dog struggling to get up the stairs.
Yeah, it is rough. It is rough whenever they're past their time, but they keep going. Um, Once in a while, the quarterbacks, like I was a big John Elway fan.
Yeah.
So, when John Elway went out, he was not at the top of his game, but he went out winning, Super Bowl. So I was really, but that wasn't because of him. So that was a really nice way to go out. Same thing with like Peyton Manning did the same thing. That's always nice. But whenever you watch him kind of, like you said, like the last year watching Brady, it's like it was great watching him with Tampa, but it's like they start to get to a point, where I mean Brady, I didn't think though he wasn't bad at all though his last season. Whereas
No,
like
good.
when you start watching like Dan Marino, like he's a good example. He just lost it, and it was just like you gotta go, or I think Montana tried to make it in Kansas City, didn't he, for like a year? Um, or was that Steve Young? It was Montana.
I think that was
But
Steve Young.
no, was it Steve Young? Where they try
Maybe,
to
maybe.
go off and, do it again. And you're right, it is hard and
Yeah.
rare. So,
I mean, if you could, I mean, if they're, I mean, clearly, if you're still winning, I remember John Elway in '98, and et cetera, going and getting very good still. But like you said, he had a really good team. Davis was really good.
he was.
Um,
Their
and
defense
then
was really good.
and then now, with or the last few years with Brady and Gronk, just everyone just being really, yeah, the people around him are really good. But if you can still do it, like you said, mentioned Dan Marino, he wasn't the same, obviously, where he had bullets that he was throwing, and then he would kind of throw like floaters at the end of his career.
Yeah.
If
He had
if it still
like one
works,
of the quickest releases in the NFL. And then you saw it. Like you saw it, like you said, you just saw him lose that. Yeah.
yeah,
It was rough. Rough to
I don't know.
watch.
If you can still do it, if they still want to play, and I don't know. I feel like with athletes a lot, they just love it and miss it so much. You can't not do it.
Sure.
It's like
It seemed like,
Rocky and
yeah.
Rocky too. I got to be around it, Nick. Do you like
Oh,
Rocky?
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. I do like Rocky. Yeah, Will's a big Rocky fan. Like, I'm not like him. Like, I bet he can pretty much. Did you hear that? That was my cat.
What'd
Um,
your cat do?
she just like started going, but on the floor it was scratchy and just like was in one position. He could probably like every like line in the movie. He knows, like he really does, because what he does, he'll put on a movie that like he likes, like about martial arts or Rocky, and then like especially when he was younger. And he said, like when he was younger, he would just do sit-ups and push-ups through the entire movie. Like
Yeah.
that's the kind of stuff and then he'd watch it because that was before streaming and stuff. Hell, even if there was streaming, he still does it now. But he said he would just watch the VCR tape over and over and over. And there's some movies that he's like, it's annoying that like because he'll say the line, every line right before the line. you So, so yeah, yeah. Or I'll say something not knowing it's a Rocky line, and he'll respond with a Rocky line, like so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do that a lot. Not just where I with a bunch of things, and um, no one. Every now and then, people get it. Like they'll comment, like, "Oh, Chavez, I love your pop culture references." Um, and it just comes from watching the same things over and over again when you're younger,
yeah,
and it sticks. Um,
yeah.
I-
See, I don't do that. Like I guess I do. I guess I do on some things. I do watch over and over again, but not a lot. Not a lot of movies.
which ones
Um,
do you do that with?
I've done that with Zero Dark 30, which you have to
Okay,
watch if you
I
have not
haven't yet.
watched
I
it.
got it. I gotta watch that. I haven't yet.
I've watched that like a couple of times. I was really upset though because it's not streaming for free anywhere. They want me to pay like $3.99, and I have everything, and I have to pay for it. Um, I have watched actually The Big Chill. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. I've
Sounds like
watched that over and I've watched that multiple times. Um, I don't know. I'm trying to think. What else do I watch? I don't, like I said, I usually watch a movie once or twice and I'm good, you
yeah.
know. But William could watch movies over and over again. And then like Max, like I don't know how many Disney movies I've watched. Like trying to think back. Like I don't know. I'll just start speaking Spanish and I'll be like, how do I know that? Oh, the abuela, that's from Dora, like Dora. Swipe or no swipe, like and like different shows and stuff, like I'll remember like when like a lot of that. So I've watched a lot of kid shows too.
What I want to rewatch is the Super Bowl, but the kids version, where they had Dora explain like what a sack is, and the Ninja Turtles passing out pizza, and SpongeBob and Patrick were the announcers. Yeah,
I don't
they
know
for the
about
Super Bowl
that.
they just had it.
That's really cool. Is
Yeah,
that like on Nickelodeon or something?
yeah. And the Paramount just had a thing where they just like, oh, we'll just announce and broadcast the game as SpongeBob and Patrick. Dora, there's just a bunch of characters. So when they would show people, like real people that were in the audience, they
Mm,
made them like fish versions of themselves. So like Snoop Dogg was there, but he was some type of Snoop catfish or whatever. Um, the way they did it was really cool. Um,
mm,
and just them going and commenting on something in real life is just really fun.
mm. Yeah, I don't know. I've been down the YouTube hole like a lot lately. Um, just watching, and it's so funny how you could like something or watch something and then all of a sudden your whole flow, like weird things start creeping in and you're like, what did I click to go down this hole? Like you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Like I just get a lot of variety, like strange historical facts that you wish you didn't know. Like I get that person, and then like certain comedians, and then like all of a sudden, I don't know. I'll get on like one really like anti-right or anti-left stream. I'm like, how the hell am I? Why am I getting this? So I don't know what I do. Um, yeah, to get to go down these different places, but sometimes I'll just like close YouTube and I'll start over again. I'll be like, okay, I get it. I need to go on a different path.
yeah. Algorithms are
Then,
so different on different platforms. Um,
yeah, yeah. I
did
mean,
did you ever? Sorry, go
good.
ahead.
No, I was going to ask you about this one woman that I've been listening to. I don't know how she got in there. Dolores Connor. She's a lady that goes back and does past life like hypnosis, and like she claims that she's worked with the aliens for like 30-40 years. Like
Oh, that's
that's
wild.
her specialty of going in and getting people to remember their, and like she just talks all about like what they're here for, what the aliens have done, why they do the medical testing, like that all this kind of stuff that she, and I don't know, it's like really fascinating. Just kind of to like listen to it now.
I would love that. I've interviewed Jen Scott Prickett a couple times. Writes a bunch of books. She's big into like past lives where she'll
Mhm.
find examples of people and they're it's usually their kids that remember their past lives. It's never really adults.
Yeah.
Um, but have you ever seen oh god, what's it called? No, you got me stuck on Zero Dark Thirty. It's called The Fourth Kind.
No, is that the one that's like really scary where the owls or the aliens are the owls? William
Yeah,
told me that was like one of the scariest alien movies
it's
ever.
really good. I love that
Oh.
movie. Yeah, it's not like how scary. I think maybe
Right,
they
right,
have like
right.
one of those scenes, but it's more just that
Yeah.
psycho. Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, he
I
told
think
me he's like it's like the kind that gives you nightmares, but not like it's not like everyone gets killed, stabbed, Jason kind of. It's like the kind that just like scares the shit out of you like deeply. I'm like,
yeah,
I don't want to watch it then. I don't want to watch that movie.
it's
I'm
so
so
good though. You
scared.
got it. It's like I mean it's
Uh-uh.
okay,
Uh-uh.
maybe not. I feel like I'm I'm one of those like cliff divers that go spelunking, telling you, no, it's really rewarding, you got to do it. But I'm like, do you know what those are? Have you seen those videos?
Uh-huh. Is that no, we had this conversation before. That's not the
Oh,
ones that stick their hands in holes and catch fish, right?
no, no.
Those are noodlers. Okay, those are different. You know those people though. Like
I haven't seen that. I've seen this like African kid lather his leg up into something, put like his leg down into a thing so that like a snake or something will wrap around it, and then people will like pull him out by his armpit, and then they'll grab the snake, then they'll eat the snake. Because I guess that's what you do for food in different parts of Africa. Um, the reason why I was asking is because there's those guys.
spelunking.
Yeah,
What is
yeah.
spelunking again?
So there's these guys that go into like these natural caves,
Okay.
and maybe it starts off kind of normal, but
Okay.
eventually you get to a point where you have to exhale your breath in order to like move to the next spot. I go,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh,
so I would
mm.
never do that. And some people, the people that do it, say it's like the most rewarding experience. And I feel like I'm one of those guys telling you, no, you got to watch the fourth kind. It's so good. But you're just like,
Mm-mm,
no.
no, no, no. That to me would just freak me out. Like, no, just no,
The,
no. Oh my God, what if you get stuck? What if you can't get back through? What if you get bloated?
uh,
What do you do? You're just in there for so long that you hope you get skinny and can get back through? Like,
um,
oh, God, no. Or if the rocks came down, do people know you're there? How do they get to you? Oh, no,
yeah,
no.
I forget what it's called. Something the honeycomb. I forget what it was called, but the Nutter Butter, I think maybe. There's this guy that he wanted to explore this cave, and there was kind of a map saying like, okay, you go down this route, and then
Hmm.
you go into this hole, and then there'll be a space large enough for you to turn around, and then you go back up. But he went down like the wrong way, and then he like got stuck, and he couldn't move, and he's hanging upside down, and then they tried for like 27 hours to get this guy out, and they couldn't, and they sealed him in there because he was like gone at that point. Um, but yeah, they sealed him in that cabin. They'd make sure nobody goes down there again, and it is wild.
That's rough.
Yeah,
But you should look at noodling because
I will.
it's in the South. Huh? I think it's like Tennessee, Kentucky. But what they do is they go into these whatever they're creeks, rivers, I don't know. But certain animals or certain fish like to like burrow down in, and they'll go down to where they know they are, and they'll like stick their arms in the holes that they think these fish may be, and the fish will latch onto their arm, and then they'll pull their arm out, catch the fish, and it's like, no, I'm good. Like, no, what are you doing? Like, why? Why would you do that? Now, the people in Africa, I get, because I
Yeah,
guess if you're hungry, you know what I mean. You got to
you
do
do
what
what
you
you
got
got
to
to do.
do. I mean, yeah.
Um, the person that was, I just got a call from someone. I'll call him back after this. He was in him and I think his dad maybe originally. I met him in the military. I served with him. Great dude. Met his wife as well. We one time they like came to the her and our friend Kathy came to the shop, and we took them out like on the flight line where they weren't supposed to be. It just like doing like when we started doing missions, it's like, okay, get this cargo or get these whatever from this aircraft, and they're like
Hmm.
in the van. So they're great, but both their parents were in the military, and they were both in Alaska when they were younger. They spent X amount of years there, and so they wound up getting married. It's awesome, beautiful. I love those two. And I like asked him about this story, and Jesse didn't really know about it, but his wife Ashley does. Like, I heard about this story. The FBI had to come in because people were getting like abducted, and they said like maybe a few of them they had like found like they were just exploring or whatever, and they were just like frozen, in like the Alaskan
Hmm.
wilderness. But
Hmm.
they thought they had like a serial killer because of all the abductions, but the rest of them were just gone. There was like no trace of any of them.
Hmm.
And they have Goat Slayer down here saying like when the dash cam at the end with the girl and the abduction gives me chills the entire time. Yeah, it's
that like based. Wait, am I wrong? But is that based on a true story?
yes, yes it is. Yeah, so
Oh,
yeah,
oh, that makes it so much worse.
it's
Yeah.
based on the stuff in the '90s where my friends were, and then she said like this is what happened. The FBI had to come in, and
So
they were
it was real.
yeah.
Did they ever find those people?
Mm. There's a couple of them. I think they focused on like one or two stories or a couple of stories,
Mhm.
but yeah, there's a couple of them that just
Gone.
gone. Yeah.
Well, this lady, anyways, she says that they're nice and that that they just this is what they do. They help out, and she it's pretty damn interesting. But people remembering their past lives and how they keep coming back, and now you make a plan, and how you construct everybody that's in your life, and like it's pretty damn interesting. But I don't know, I got down like that path, so I like started listening to different things, and it's pretty interesting. Like a lot of it would make sense, like she was talking like about the medical and like why people lose time, and that they're trying not to mess with your psyche, but they still have to kind of monitor us because we're like lab rats basically. And that's why people, I mean, like, that's why they lose time. And that basically we're still too violent and we're not at a stage yet where we could, be with them because we're just still like animals. But they, when they do take us, and the medical stuff is like, that's just part of like the science that they
Yeah.
do, and I'm like, oh, that kind of makes sense. Like, and she talked about how people don't remember where they are. They have long blackout periods. Time speeds up, like all those things. Like, I don't know. It's very convincing if you listen to her. So, but I'm
It
still not
makes
watching
sense
it.
because we do such ridiculous things with some animals. Some things really bad, and some things just weird. Like I forget what state it was in, maybe like Florida. That so it's near a body of water that Elon Musk's SpaceX were going to do some launches, and
Hmm.
then some organizations like, well, how's that going to affect the local like seal population? With the sounds and the waves.
Right.
And I don't know, like if we see any decline in their birth rates, we can move it. And like no,
Yeah.
we need to study this now. So they had to kidnap a bunch of seals from like the
Mm.
wild and like
Okay.
force them like to listen to um like SpaceX stuff, like the launches or whatever.
Right.
And they seemed really calm, but like could you imagine being a SEAL, getting abducted by these people, being strapped to like a surfboard and have them put earphones on you, and then you listening to like these random sonar stuff, and then go back to your friends, be like, guys, you'll never believe what happened.
That's how she describes it.
Yeah,
Like, she's like, that's it, like the DNA, and they're not trying to hurt you, but when they follow some families, and they keep an eye on certain and it's like they have a no intervention policy. We have free will, but we're still like, we're not even close to being ready or anything. They communicate all, without speaking, but they're speaking, but so. And then she even said, like, she's like, some of these people are like, what if the aliens come and they take us over? She's like, that would be a total joke. Like, there's no, like, we would be done if they
yeah.
wanted us to be done. Like, there would be no fight. Like, whatever that movie, what was it, Fourth of July, or the way, she's like, that
Independence Day.
Independence Day, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, that would not happen. That would not happen. We would be just gone.
I mean, I really maybe this is like the military in me, or just I feel like a guy. It might be a guy thing because there are like TikTok saying like, oh, if you ask a woman how does she want to die, she's like peacefully in bed, surrounded by family. And then like ask a guy how they want to die, and you see like these Zero Dark 30 movies where they're just like the last ones fighting before they get shot up.
Yeah.
Um, there's there's this movie called Battle LA.
Okay.
Aaron Eckhart's like this staff sergeant in the Marines that's like ready to retire, but then
Mhm.
aliens invade, and it's really awesome how they do it. Um, and I want it to be like that, but I also know that it would likely be like Star Wars, like if they're like a Type 3 type of civilization that have like the power of like the sun, and they could just blow up our planet, and
Oh
then
yeah.
we not exist.
She's like, there would be no fight. Like
Yeah.
these people, they're just like, yeah, there would be no fight. But I did go to the movies and see, oh, what's the movie out now about? Oh, Badlands? Is it Badlands or something like that?
Borderlands?
No, the
Bo-
one where the SEAL team goes in and they're on a mission. Damn it, I can't remember what it's called. But we went to go see it in the movies on Saturday.
Oh, how was
And
it?
oh my God, Randy, from the time, okay, where they start in the chopper, you know how they're really good movies, like they start in the chopper and they're like, one's smoking a cigarette and one's looking at his kids. They all start the same. Like all
Yeah.
these missions start the same. And they're all nervous. Like from the time that they landed till the time the movie was over, I swear to God, I was like puckered up. Like I was like, like the whole freaking movie was just like so good. Um, it was special forces going in to get, a CIA operative that had been taken prisoner, and they believed he was at this compound at this, little islandish kind of thing, but it was good. Oh my God, it was so good. Like I felt a rush of testosterone watching them. I was like,
Okay, so it wasn't Civil War, it wasn't Escape from Germany, it wasn't Fallout. Was it Saddam Hussein? Hiding Saddam Hussein?
no, it's in the theaters now.
Oh, Land of Bad?
Land of Bad. That's it.
Okay,
I said Badlands. That was close.
yeah.
Land of Bad. So
Okay.
good. Oh my God. So, 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 so good.
You
Um,
should
yeah.
On TikTok, you should go and look up Mandatory Fun Day. He's a guy in the army. He's been in there for like 12 years. So we actually joined around the same time. I joined the Air Force around the same time he joined the army, and
Okay.
it's a humorous view on like kind of what the military goes through, where it's like, okay, well, we'll make military bases have all these really cool aspects to it, but you're not
Mhm.
allowed to use any of them, or like they'll only be open from like 10 to 3. And it's like, well, we work from like 7 to 5, and this is like, and just stuff that makes no sense, and it's just complete bullshit. But it's just stuff we have to go through.
Yeah.
They're really funny. They're really good.
Okay. No, you'll like this one though. Make sure whenever it comes out, or if you get the chance, go see it. You'll really, really, really like it. Like the
Okay.
whole thing is just like Zero Dark 30 is more like they're showing her, look pictures, a little torture, a little lunch, a little, and then at the very end is like when they do the invasion and they finally like do the big scene. But this movie is like start to finish, just like on the edge
All
of
good.
your seat. Like as soon as they get off the helicopter on, it's like it's good. Like it's a good one. I'm glad I went to go see it. So I get what you mean about like the just like if you're gonna die, like when you get done watching that, you're thinking like those are some bad motherfuckers. Like those
Oh,
are the no shit. Like they, jeez. I it takes a special, I guess, I don't know. It's just it takes a special person to just be able to go with confidence and just like let's go get someone and then take them out. But it was good, really good, and it brought in technology really well too because they have their eye in the sky. So, like when they're going up a mountain or something, or going up the side of a hill, they can say, check for movement here. Check. So it was also shown like the integration of technology, like that was a big part of it too. Their eyes in the sky, and my husband and I both had the same thought. Like, can you imagine doing that in Vietnam when you had no eyes in the sky? You had like, oh my God, that had to be so freaking scary. Like, I don't know. Those guys are really amazing to me. Okay, you're not. You're wait. I can't hear you. Can't hear you. Oh, now you're frozen. Now I'm on the stream. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Okay, am I better now?
Yes.
I don't know
What's
why that
going
keeps
on with
happening.
you?
I don't know. My internet, I guess. I don't know why. I
It's
forget what I was. Oh yeah, so in my day, it was you kind of go on a deployment for like 7 months and then you come back. And just back in the day, like Vietnam or Korea or World War II, you go to war and you go until the war is over, and
mm,
you're just there for like years. It's like, oh my God, I could never, could never.
but they did, and you probably would have. Like, you know what I mean? Like you would have. I don't
Yeah,
know. We say we could never until we
I
have
guess if
to.
you have to.
You do. I mean, it's just that's your circumstance. Like the guy sticking his leg in a hole. Like I'm thinking I would never do that, but if you're really hungry,
Yeah.
you're gonna do that. Like I used to get injections in my eyes, like in my eyeball eyes,
Ooh,
and like I would say never, ever, ever will there ever be a time when I'm conscious and you're gonna stick a needle in my eye. But when they're like, "Hey, do you want to go blind or do you want to try this shot?" You're like, "Yeah, I guess I'm gonna get a needle in my eye." So
yeah. And they
um,
helped.
they used to. I don't get them. I don't get them. I haven't had one in a while, about a year, but they have now where it's like air. It's an air gun. So, but like I've gone through the stages of the various needle. Like at first, it was like this long ass skinny needle. They
Yeah.
put it into your eye. Now it's to the point where it's like an air, like almost like an air gun, and it's a little pellet that they just put on your eyeball, and it's just like, choom, and it's in your
Oh,
eyeball. Then you see like a little piece of rice floating in your eye until it kind of settles to the bottom.
wow.
Yeah,
And
and you,
so
yeah,
that's a good treatment for you now. Like, is there anything that's like a cure, or is it just treatment so that it slows the?
it's just treatment. I'm on a topical too, like drops. And those have been helping.
Oh,
So,
nice.
but it's usually they do that just like whenever things are really getting bad and they need to like do something right away. It's like putting out the fire. But usually you can kind of like once that's done, you can kind of keep it from going crazy. Um, but yeah, it's strange. Like I said, back in the day, you felt the needle sliding into your eye and you had to sit there and you had to be really still. And now they're to the point where, like I said, they just put it up against your eye. It's kind of better, but it also makes me feel like a cow getting like a bullet to the brain or something because it's like thump, like you think that's what it must sound like whenever you're getting like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That sounds terrible, but like it sounds so loud in your head, but then it's over, so
but that does sound very scary. I
yeah,
would not want.
yeah, we're having a really grim discussion tonight.
Speaking of grim subjects, Crazy Dan 420 says BitBoy Crypto is fighting an MMA fight against More Light in Karate Combat number 44 tonight. He's gonna get his ass kicked. Who do you want to see fight in the Veve fam? Who do you want to see go toe to toe with each other?
Brandy, you shouldn't ask me some questions.
But it's fun.
Oh, I'd rather. Oh my God, who do I want to see go head to head? That's so. No, I can't answer this because
Be a complete mismatch.
that's what I'm. Yes, it would be a complete mishmash because I know who I'm thinking of now, and ironically, most of the people that I would like to see are smaller people. So I don't.
Put like anyone versus Josh Emmett, and then just Josh Emmett just murders them.
Are you kidding? Now I interviewed Josh. He has got. Are you you're interviewing him tomorrow, right?
Not tomorrow. It'll be March 1st, I think. Let me check. Yes, it's next week. It'll be March 1st.
He's a really nice guy. He came on the Queen's Court right before one of his fights that he lost. He it was tough on him.
Yeah.
But he's a Veve fan. He's an OMI fan. He's a really nice guy. Yeah, you'll enjoy having him.
Yeah, I can't wait. He's such a cool dude. I want to go and I mean it's too late for him now, but I want to go and I forget what these things are called, where you find like this like I don't know 12-year-old that's really good at baseball or they're really good at soccer or whatever. But like I will pay for all this kid's training. Just give me like 10% of his future fight contracts or whatever. And then, he goes on and makes like $100 million and you're just like, hey. Obviously with him, he's already uh, super professional, super high, high in that league. I hope he can
Yeah.
go. I hope he can go for champion. Like Joe Rogan was talking about him the other day, saying like he's like the most. He's got the hardest punch like in his division. I'm really hoping he can go and become
Oh
champion.
yeah. Yeah. He was up for it, like I said, a couple fights ago, and he lost.
Yeah,
And it was rough. But and he knows he's getting kind of up there in age. I think he's 37, 38.
he's got one
Um,
last run in him.
so he's got one last run in him. But oh yeah, absolutely. Will says the same thing. He says he just has just a usually whenever Will bets for him, or bets on him, it's first, second round because that's where he's going to land that one punch and just take him out. I think he did that on the last fight Will bet on with him. So yeah, he definitely hits hard.
Yeah, yeah. My internet just went out again. I don't know what it is. Maybe
I
it's like
know.
storming tonight.
I don't know either.
Yeah,
But no, that'll be a good interview. He like I said, he has collectibles. He has a Veve logo.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure he has he has a Veve logo.
yeah.
Because whenever the charity was going on, I'm like, I texted him and I'm like, hey, I think you need to go bid on this logo, which he did, by the way. He did put a bid in. And he's like, I need another one? And I didn't realize he had one. I already had one, but he does have one. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
I know he also like hangs out with he does V friends too. So
Oh, very good.
he goes to, oh my god, my cat just blew me out.
Oh, bad fart.
Oh, bad. Literally. Oh my god. Oh what? Oh my god. Oh my
Oh, your face.
god. Oh my god. Oh god, I gotta go. Hold on. I'll be back.
Okay, I'll get back to the comments while you're there.
Yeah, come back to the comments. Bye.
Came on another. Oh my god, that's horrible. Incorrigible Ghost
God.
Slayer. You
Oh.
you could go for like a minute and then come back. You could.
No, I have. No, I'm good. I have a plan.
Okay. All right, it's a plan. F21, F18s by our great American voluntary pilots. Who, Sergeant? And Torfun, yeah, he's a great one. We love him. Right, Chavez versus OG Ball. What do you think, Ball? Yeah, that would be a very short fight. I would say 11 seconds. I would say 11 seconds for that fight, and then that would be on the card. My yellow can. MC's kind of. I didn't know MC was that old. I thought MC was like around my age, but he's a bit older, so I guess he's got a little more, But yeah, I would still put it on MC though. Main event, right? I'm fighting twice that night. Yeah, again, that wouldn't be that much. It'd be same thing. Maybe he would last 30 seconds. Boxing after Dr. Chief. You do streams handicap match against. Yeah, I don't. It seems like Rain would destroy Dino, right? Like that. I'd put so much money on Rain for that fight.
Good one.
Dude, Rain's super jacked. Like he might not look it at first glance, but if you look on his Instagram, like the most recent trip he took, he's like doing like pull downs, and they weren't normal pull downs. They had there's like a lady on the other side, so he was pulling down and she was going up. It was, and she's in like a boat. So that was wild. He's really jacked. Cardinal goes, I want WWE hardcore match style. I would love that. I loved wrestling when I was younger. I would love to go and like 619 someone. I would love to go and just frog slash someone. Yeah, I would love to just get like kicked in the face. Just I know it sounds so strange, but that seems like a lot of fun. Because it's hard but it's you're not like getting punched in the face or like a boxing match. That seems legit. Omar saying meow 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 meow. I'm enjoying the Evil Queen collectible that we have on the screen in place of Lori. And then I see a bit of Lori's phone, I believe. Not 100% sure what are there. So while Lori's doing her thing, let's go in and do the rest of the news. So if you have a gold and silver logo, just go to the gold and silver Discord on Veve and you press the party button, and then you will be put into a sweepstakes for 50 free gems. You can go and do that. Join Grandma Duck for dinner to find out how Uncle Scrooge gained his first $1 million. This is an origin story that I'm not just going to buy. I'm going to read. Do I read everything I buy? No, and I feel like most people don't read anything they buy, but that is such a good. Some of these stories are so good. I really have to recommend y'all read some of these. And a first appearance of Claw. So Black Panther explains Wakanda's unique history to the Fantastic Four, and Claw is that guy. I think he played Smeagol in Lord of the Rings. He was the big motion capture guy in like the 2000s. He's the one that goes like this, unless you're a cuttlefish and you puff up into one of those. I only speak to the man in charge. And then Ultron just chops off his arm and then makes him like a billionaire. He's a they play him pretty well in the movies. In the comics, I'm not really sure which route they're going with him. I don't know if that's really a big key issue. We'll see. RoboCop Jetpack drops in only 2 days away. To celebrate, we're giving away 5,000 ED. I'm sorry, not 5,000. It's 5x. Just 5 ED209 digital collectibles. To enter, you just have to craft a flyable RoboCop digital collectible, post a photo or video on X or Instagram feed of your RoboCop flying an AR, and tag the official Veve official and use the hashtag Veve RoboCop. The entries do close on 1 March 2024 at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that is 2 March 2:59 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Winners announced on or around March 5th on X and Instagram. How you doing over there, Queen Veve? All right, she's still all right. Sure, her thing's off, so probably not that good. She's probably she's dying. Yep, related. Qualified entries will be chosen at random, so it is random. It's not like they're going to pick their favorite one. They're all going to be put into a hat. Someone picks the names out of the hat, and you get that. Don't pull Goldberg or Bret Hart. No career enders. No career enders. Absolutely love the confidence. I fought for many years, so yeah, big confidence. Gabriel Jones says, I can hope everyone's funds are recoverable and for they are. The funds are safe. The funds being safe are so that's fine. If you have funds on there, it might take a day or two to get out, but they're there. Pena says, how about the gorgeous ladies of Veve Royal Rumble? Oh, I don't know. I mean, as much as I thoroughly, I'm not touching that one. I'm just gonna say that's probably not gonna happen. The guys might make it happen. Girls ain't doing that. You go on say Queen Veve, Magic, Fox, Eva. Oh my God, for fun. That's again, I love the enthusiasm there, but that yeah, probably not a good idea. For the men, that's fine. We might be able to get that because there's a bunch of crazy men like myself that'll do it, but not everyone's going to go and do that. No joke, a big old 9.8 Wada Tekken in OG Tekken from PlayStation 1 just sold for $55,200. What? Again, people love super nostalgic things. The older, the rarer, the minter, the better. That was a line in Pokemon that SM Pratt had coined that we all used. Pretty much same thing for sealed video games nowadays as well. And for the sealed video games, though, I think a good amount of that is money laundering. But even still, some of these things are actually bought by real people, and they go hard. I don't know about you being 22. Sorry, I love Taylor Swift. This is why I see some of these things on Veve be like museum. Like you already have one of ones. Like you have my trophy Kangaskhan that's like a 1 of 45. that I still have that record sale for $279. There are some things that are like museum pieces that just haven't made it really to Pokemon yet. And yeah, you have $1 million sales, multiple $1 million sales for some cards, but and that's really only for the top cards. You have some other top ones, like you have the Trophy Pikachu's are obviously up there, but you have Super Secret Battle, you have Trophy Kangaskhan, you have Unicart, the University Magikarp, you have Tropical Wind, you have a bunch of these really awesome, and even the finalist cards coming in from the Tropical Wind Battle series, like at the end, like at Pokemon Day at Worlds, you got a lot of super crazy, and I see that in Veve. Is the first appearance Captain America with 28,000 of these mints? Is that going to ever be $1 million? No. That'd be $1,000, probably not. Could it be $100? Sure. And that guy's like 15, $20. So, it does a nice 5x. But there are things like the 1 of 7 Aston Martin that could be $100,000. I know the gold and silver VV logo is not like super super scarce. It's not like it has like 100 of them. But that's already sitting over 7K. It was 8K the other day. Then you had a couple of people try to undercut each other. How's Queen Veve over there? You good? You're on mute. You haven't been able to talk for a while. If you've been talking, you've been on mute. So that's why I haven't really been able to see you or hear you. So just let me know. Come back in whenever you're good. Sleeping Colin says, "Hello, Randy and Queen. Oh, we're hello, sleeping. I hope you're doing well. I always talk about you. All good things. All good things. Who will be messaging me? Well, all right. So a buddy of mine messaged me saying, "Why is OMI dropping? Because of Bitforex." I'll say yes. Nothing to worry about. However, comma, you can use this to load up cheap. So a buddy of mine that has I don't know if he's going to use the whole 100 that he did a pretty wild move. Not really wild for normal people. Where he got about 100,000 in equity somewhere, and he's gone like, "What do I use it on, Randy?" I was like, "You know what I'm going to tell you to use it on." He's going to buy a lot of OMI. So yeah, so now obviously you just use Coinbase Wallet. I'd love that. Sorry, not sorry, but oh god, okay, I can't say that last. All right, Booth saying almost crap my pants because more than 50% of my OMI is in Bitforex. Booth, you've been here a while. You've had to have heard me say, "Not your keys, not your crypto," and that is just that's just not gonna, you know, um, it's not yours if it's not on like a trust wallet or a ledger. Obviously, Bitforex right now is fine. I mean, not right now. You can't go get it right now. You will in the next day or so. But yeah, don't ever keep stuff on exchanges. I never keep really anything on there. Yeah, bad times. Cordial Ghost says, when I was 12, I traded away one of my my first gen or first edition. Oh, hey, you're back. You're on mute.
I see that.
How's your nose?
Oh God, we got one cat. Oh boy, God.
Was he okay? Like, how did he produce a smell that foul?
Oh, it's so bad, Randy. It's so bad. It overtakes you. It's so bad. Yeah. I think she's our scaredy cat. She's afraid of my one cat because my one cat is a bully and will attack her because she shows such weakness. And sometimes in the litter box. And sometimes we end up with a cat that has poop all over it, and we'll have to get in the shower and suit up in armor to wash this cat. And this is no joke. Like his old riding, like from when he like car racing, like jackets, like they're super thick. And this cat, oh God, this cat's a specimen, but she's scared. Like she could whoop, like she could kill all the other cats, but she doesn't know it.
Yeah.
So she's real afraid. So I think she holds it for a really long time. Then when she finally like gets enough nerve and like goes, oh my eyes are still burning. That was rough. And who has me boxing with magic? Like,
well,
let's
they don't
not
have
start
you boxing with magic. Jason Pena, thank you for being a member, saying Veve Royal Rumble. So Queen, Magic, Veve Fox, Eva, and probably a bunch of others. Like, so you know what Royal Rumble is, right?
Yeah, why would we want to do this to
So we were talking about, the bunch of the men fighting, and then it got into like wrestling.
to the women
Yeah,
fighting.
Incorrigible
Okay.
Ghost Slayer wants a WWE like hardcore match style, which I'd be into. And then that's when Jason Pena is like, let's just do a women's Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And as crazy as the guys are to do something like that, I don't think the women are that dumb. The women are pretty smart, and they're not going to do.
No, I don't think we're gonna do that. No.
I mean, I would love
No.
I think eventually we could have something like that, where as more and more people get in, you'll have just factor of averages. What a couple of those people are going to be into that type of stuff.
I could see how it would be fun. I mean, maybe if I was younger, that would be fun, but I could also see how someone could accidentally lose 2 front teeth too, which would
Mm.
suck, you know?
That's why we're a mouthpiece.
Okay, Randy, just stop.
I mean, that's
Will will be training me like he has like all this training shit from like he has like a dummy, like a wooden dummy with like where you know what I'm
yeah,
talking about?
yeah,
Oh my lord. That thing, I can't even like he'll just be like, and I'll do it. I'm like, ouch, like it's wood. It hurts. He's like, well,
yeah,
that's what you do. I'm like, what do you mean that's what you do? Well, you do it so much that it hurts and then it builds up and then it doesn't hurt anymore when all the nerves are dead. And I'm
yeah.
like, you're stupid.
That's what. Yeah, he's right. That's what you do.
You're stupid. Why would I want to do that? He's like, well, you never know. I'm like,
It's true. You don't know. I
so
um I don't know where I have this. It might have been a little bit ago. It was a picture that I had taken. I guess it had to be January or maybe early February. It was in 2016. It was right before I deployed, and the picture I take is just me like showing something. I don't know. My like fist is up here, and at the time, like I was still super like training and boxing on my off time,
yeah.
and just like my knuckle was just so huge. It was just like it looked like a tumor was on there. I don't have a picture now, but it's just from like punching.
Right,
I mean, you can do it on trees, you can do it on wood, you can do it on pretty much whatever. Um,
right.
and then you just build
Yeah,
up the calluses.
you men are you men are just different. That's all I'm gonna say. I
Um,
don't. Yeah, we're good. We're good.
it's one of the reasons why women live longer. You guys,
What? We're smarter.
yeah, yeah, we go pretty hard on pretty dumb things. I mean, sometimes it's healthy, but I feel like most times it's not.
Mm. Oh, I get it. I mean, it does make sense. I mean, and when you talk with Emmett, like he talks about his ice baths and like he's like, no, actually, it feels. And I'm like, it doesn't feel good. Like you're full of shit. I don't know.
I mean, at the end of the day, when you're just like you feel like you did something, and I there's this line from Never Back Down, from like the late 2000s, maybe early 2010s, where um, this mom goes into this gym that she like didn't want her son at because her son had like anger issues, and she's like, this is just going to make the problem worse. And the
Mm,
owner of the gym very calmly says, the angry young boys that come in here are a lot less angry when they walk out of here. And then
mm.
she's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like that kind of clicked with her, and I was like, um, I don't know. A lot of men are just angry. A lot of, especially like young kids. That's a good way to get that aggression out.
Yeah, Will says that too. Like that helps. You know what I mean? Like you got all that testosterone going too. I don't
Yeah,
know if it's. I mean, yeah, I guess it's anger, but I think a lot of that is just like hormones, and you're all just like full of just um, yeah, I don't know, but
I
yeah,
mean,
it does help. It does help. It does help for sure. But to some of the degrees that some of the people take it, I just ooh, that's rough.
my friend Eric was a really good kickboxer back in the day. I think he's a bit older now, but um, I forget what it was called. But you take this like long wooden stick, and you just like kind of whack your shin so that you get these like tiny micro fractures, so that it's
Yeah, we have
palatable.
one. Oh, yeah, we have a stick. Oh
Yeah,
God, yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't like that. That hurt
Oh
a
God,
little too
no.
much.
No, he has a stick. Oh my God, he has one of those, but it's a long one. And I thought he was like messing with me when he's like, "Oh, my shins are they're so dead," because I basically killed them so that you can that so that you can kick and you can block kicks and you can kick people, and stuff with them. And I'm like, yeah, 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 yeah. And he finds this and it looks like a cane, like it's like big. And he just like with all it like he just boom and slammed it on his shin. And he's like, nothing. And I was like, oh, like I thought I was gonna vomit. Like it was so disgusting. Like oh, but like at first I was disgusted, and then I'm like, oh wait a minute, that's kind of sexy. like I went through different emotions. I'm like, I don't know if I like I was really confused. I'm like, I don't know if I like this or if I hate
It's weird how some people can like awaken something in you. Like, oh,
it.
I didn't know I felt like this.
I'm like, "Well, I don't know how I feel about this.
I didn't know I
Um,
liked it.
but my initial instinct was like just the pain of hitting your shit. Like, that's a bad one that like that's a bone pain. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That does not go away for a while when you do it.
I heard her.
But
I heard
oh God, yeah,
her.
that's our newest one. Yeah.
Baby.
He adopted us. He just came to our house and we started feeding him. And then now he comes in and he visits. He's my friend. At least that's what I tell Will. He's just my friend. Um, but we did find out he has a home 3
Oh,
doors down, but he prefers my home.
so you just catnapped him, and he's yours now.
No, they know. He visits. He just
Yeah,
comes in and visits.
yeah. It's cold outside. You gotta take in the kitties.
Well, we have better food. I mean, I guarantee we have better food, and that's what it is. Like
Well, yeah,
he's
like
always getting
Blue
like wet
Buffalo
food.
or Purina.
Yeah, he's all the wet food, dry. There's always dry food. We always keep dry food. We always give him wet food. We always have treats, catnip flavored, happy birthday flavored, like so they get. I mean, yeah, he knows. He's like, yeah, and he has this blanket that he really likes too. It's his girl. Um, Regardless of whether you're under it or not, he doesn't seem to mind. Um, but one day he was humping this blanket, and I have a slipper, and it has like fur inside of it, and he had my slipper in his mouth. And I have a picture of it actually because I thought it was
Send that
cute.
to me.
William thought it was a little bit weird, but, but he like had my slipper with the fur in his
Yeah,
mouth, and he's humping.
he put a gag. He put a ball gag in his mouth.
No, I think he was like, it felt like how they bite the back of the neck when they're having, you
Yeah.
know, when they're getting it on. I think like he had, I don't know, but I thought it was cute. William thought it was disturbing, but you know,
The
he's fixed, so it's not like he's just like, you
uh,
know,
all right, that's fine. He's not gonna get no one pregnant. Not gonna have little baby kitties around.
yeah, we're fine. But
The there was a I've never found a solution for this, whether it's like a bar or a ball, um, that goes in the ladies' mouths. I've always found that it like whistles. Um, and I've tried like duct tape around the other holes. I've tried, and I've just never been able to have a girl use one without it going like, you know. And I was like, "Ah, man, that's annoying. Like it just like it messes with like the tisms. Like I can't do it anymore while it's whistling. I don't
that
know if you've ever,
whistling's really annoying me.
I don't know if you've like ever found a solution to that. If you've ever had anyone had that problem, because
I've not encountered that problem. Let me just back that up. When I said I wasn't so sure, I mean I wasn't like, wow, now we're gonna beat each other with sticks. I don't want you to, that's not where I was going.
I hope it don't like get you in trouble in these conversations that we sometimes have. I I'm super happy that Max listened to the last like half hour of our last one. Got to hear those poop stories.
Oh
Those
my
are
gosh. He loved it. He was dying. He's like, what is you guys are funny. you know. No, Will listens to him too, and he'll just laugh. He's like, I don't know how do you guys get on these conversations? I'm like, I don't know.
I
He's
feel like
like,
you're the only one that pulls them out of me. Like I feel like I don't talk about these stuff with like many other people.
I don't know. We just end up there somehow. I don't know. We end up with these weird. Yeah, I mean, you really caught us off guard with your knife play last week too, because
Oh yeah, yeah,
I'm like, is that a thing? Like, really?
yeah,
That's a thing? Doesn't
big
that
thing.
hurt? Like, doesn't it
I
hurt?
think we got on it because you were talking about like goth people and how they would come in with like a vial of blood on their neck, and I was like, oh, speaking of blood, and you know,
Oh, that's
um,
where it went.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's where it went. And I just haven't
Yeah.
had stories about that.
Yeah. Yeah. That was. Yeah. I don't know though. Did you Google what? Whoa, there goes my head. Did you Google what to do when your ball gag whistles? Did you
I don't
Google?
think I Googled it. I think what I did was I posted on Facebook something really boring at first, and then I was like, okay, guys, now that I think it was something about like Spaceballs. I was like, all right, guys, now that the women have stopped reading, what do you guys do with the ball gag and with the and then um and like there nobody came with any answers. There was no every single one was like, I don't know, like that we never received a response, a good response that was able
Hmm.
to have us go past that hurdle.
Hmm.
I mean, I
I
guess
feel like if a guy had his own ball gag, I'd have an issue with that. Like, I feel like it should be like a woman should have her own. Like, I don't know. I think that would be really wrong to to
um
to use that ball gag. I don't know.
I would be so this I don't care about certain things. Like I feel like I'm pretty well, I guess because I also like older women. You're gonna have to assume that these older women have lived a long time and have, been around the block a couple times.
Mm,
So I don't really care about like body count or anything, but I feel like a lot of guys do. And if a woman comes in with like a ball gag or like into a relationship, like, oh, who's been using that on you? Where is that? Like where are those questions gonna lead?
mhm, mhm.
Um, but yeah. Oh, so would that be like if you were saying your date and some guy had a ball gag or he had like a bar gag, would that like be like a red flag for you? Be like, ooh,
Oh
I'm not.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh
really?
yeah. Oh god. Oh yeah. 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 For sure, that would be a red flag. Even whatever it was. Like, I mean, you'd want your own or something new. But, to me, that's something where if you're looking for long term, you're gonna be like, let's order this together. Like, I don't
Okay,
know. Or
that's fair.
I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
even if you are into it, like if you come with like, here's the, then you start thinking like, whose mouth was that in? Like, I think anything. I think you could put like vibrator, dildo, like all the sex toys in that category.
Yeah, especially
I
for a
think
guy to have like a thyroid. Who's saying man with ball gag better than woman with strap? I I thankfully not. I got close to experiencing that once. There was she's the one that the first one I ever did knife play with. I won't say her name on here, but um she let me do like anything, and then she's like, hey, I want to try this with you. And I was like, and I felt super obligated because like she let me do like
that's
anything.
everything you did to her.
Yeah, so I was like,
I
okay, so she takes out this like 13-inch monster. I was
know.
like, no, babe, that is not going anywhere near my cooter. And she's like, okay, well, can we? I was like, and we did like we ordered one, and then thankfully, we like broke up before we were able to do it.
Before it
Uh,
came,
yeah, and
just
it
the
was for a
tip,
different reason. It
baby,
wasn't for
just
that,
the tip, just the tip.
but I would have let her because that again, she let me do whatever I want. So yeah, that would have been well deserved, well earned. Um,
Wow.
yeah, but no,
Yeah,
I've never had that.
yeah. Well, I've never done that. I'll just tell you right now. Yeah, that would upset my natural order of things. Like, I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
I'm just but like that's not what I want to be in. Like that's not the role I want to be in. You know what I mean?
Have you ever seen the show Billions?
I don't think I have.
It's a really good show about who's at the Paul Giamatti is like state like attorney general for New York,
Hmm.
and Damian Lewis plays this guy that is just like a billionaire, like an Elon Musk type of billionaire,
Hmm.
but just like on Wall Street.
Hmm.
And their show is like, oh, I'm making money, I'm not doing anything wrong, and Paul Giamatti's like, it's you're rich, you're making, you're doing something wrong. And the first scene in the entire show is Paul Giamatti tied up like a pig, and you have this beautiful woman with high heels on that's like stepping on his like chest and just like, and he's like, and in the show, like his character has like what's that called when you sadomasochism. He's like a
Hmm.
sadomasochist, and
Hmm.
I just don't know how they got Paul Giamatti to do like the first scene. He's just being beaten, but this like beautiful woman, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That just seems like it hurts.
I don't know. I think you're right though. I think men would agree if asked probably to a lot more than what women probably agree to
I
if
don't know
asked.
about that.
Really?
Yeah, because well, so this is gonna get. I don't even know if I should say this.
Max,
Um,
turn off. If you're watching, turn it off. Okay, good.
yes. Okay, so we're all products of our ancestors, and for good or bad, obviously we're in a much more civilized society now. The last, let's say, 100 years, definitely the
Okay.
last 50, 40 years. But for eons and eons, um, there were like, all right, so in the I think like 6 years ago or whenever, like the Me Too movement kind of started, it was like the women saying like, oh yeah, I've been essayed, sexually assaulted in one form or another, and it happened to be like a lot of women that had experienced that. And this is when we're like kind of in like a pretty good society, as a whole, like humanity. So figure wind the clocks back 1,000 years or however many years, um, those cases and those instances were probably a lot worse, and the numbers or the statistics are probably a lot more insane. And the amount of women that I have been with that were one of their kinks was forced, like entry. I don't want to say the R word on
Yeah,
here.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And I think the logical conclusion from that is, okay, why are their kinks that? I think it's because at some point down their lineage, they had an ancestor that probably, was that, was someone that did that, and that's that kinks get passed down. So I probably shouldn't tell you the kinks that we all have, we got from our parents and grandparents, etc. So uh, when you say like women, in my experience, will be a lot more open to those types of things just because those types of kinks are there. Um, and I I don't really, I don't know if I really talk with like guy friends about the type of stuff like, hey, but that's but the guys I know, like there's some guys, a good amount of guy friends I have that would like never have anything go up their pooter,
Yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah.
and I feel so that's why I feel like women are more open to a lot more things because they, those kinks in conjunction with being submissive in general, and guys just, I feel like that's kind
Okay,
of
then let me rephrase that. I mean,
sure.
maybe go through willing and happy to do it. How about that? Um, because you're right. I mean, there's a lot of people. I mean, on both sides, women and men, that sometimes do things sexually or non-sexually to please their partner or the person that they love.
Yeah.
So I guess let me rephrase my point to be are they really want to do it and into it and yes, let's do it versus yeah, okay, I'll try that. I mean, okay, you know, I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't know. I feel that
there,
men can just go into the deepest, darkest corners of sexuality, and I
yeah,
don't know if women just, and not all women. I mean, God, obviously, not all women are the same, but I don't think we get nearly as in the deep or in the dark as
I mean,
as, as you
I,
guys.
I feel like if we go by if generalizations, men are just like, okay, whatever, porn, boobs, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
And then if the top five most searched porn things for women are vampires, pirates, surgeons, werewolves, billionaires. Um, and I feel like the guys could be like really satisfied in like a minute, done, and women kind of have to like like kind of go at it. They have to have like story, have like candles lit, have like different. And maybe I'm just that's
Yeah,
an overgeneralization, but
yeah, that's probably an over,
yeah,
right, like a generalization, but yeah, I think you're right. Um, yeah, I think women are a little bit more. I mean, not that they're not totally, sexual as well, but I think for the most part, it's not just so. I don't know. I don't know. I just think men think of anything like, okay, so you know how you're talking about like the night, like there's people that get into like feces and things like
yeah,
that. Like maybe it's equal, like just as many men like it as women like it, but I'm thinking it's not. Like I'm thinking it's not. I have no proof. I have not, you know what I mean? Like I just feel like that would be something that is more of a male
but yeah,
liking. You know
you
what I
are
mean?
right about that. When I was working at the strip club years ago, a lot of the girls there and this is like not the birth of the internet, but this is like 2010 to 2012, and they would just like, I have guys that want me to wear panties for a couple of days, not wash them, and send it to them. I have guys that want me to fart in a jar. Guys are fucking freaks. Guys, guys are so. Um,
That's what I mean. Like,
yeah. Okay.
never, ever, ever do I hear any of my girlfriends go like, you know, it'd be so fucking hot is if you would just fart in this jar, put a bow on it, and get like women don't say that. And once
Yeah.
again, most women don't say that, and I don't think most men say that either. But I think there's a bigger majority of men that will take it
Yeah.
to extremes, I think, than women. You know what I mean? If given the chance, you know what I mean. But I know a lot of people that keep it in bounds based on where their partner wants it. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Yeah. Men are freaks about that. So there's back in the PI days, I knew this. I knew this woman. She's like a high end escort, and she had I just asked her like one day, I was like, what type of clients do you usually have? And she, hers were fairly normal,
Hmm.
but she's like, oh, but I don't think it was her real sister, like my sister, whatever. It's like, uh, I forget what type of trans person this was, but um, she's like, he, she has all of like the people that you would see like church going guys in suits, and they would get like super freaky, and they would get like they would have, I don't know, like have them lay on their back, and like the girl or the escort would drop like hot wax on them. They would like degrade them. I was like, oh my god, like you would never think it. And then I guess because like if they're like CEOs or their bosses and they're always telling people what to do, they have that theory of like, oh, I want someone to tell me what to do.
Yeah,
Um,
like a role, like kind of flipping the
yeah,
roles.
I guess so culturally it's different as well. A Cordial Ghost Slayer says one of the common things spoke to and from the Iraqis during my deployment would be Mr. Freaky Freaky. While rubbing their index fingers together, they get freaky freaky with animals. Yeah, in Afghanistan they have something known as Goat Fuck Wednesday, because some of the Afghan men go and they blink. Oh yeah, that probably should have said that. Yeah.
You are joking right now. There is no
No.
such thing as Goat Fuck Wednesday.
Yeah.
Take it back.
I mean, no, that never happened. But
did the Afghanis or the men
no,
in the
it's the
military
Afghanis.
base?
Like, no, it's the Afghanis way outside the wire, but like they've seen it happen. Like, apparently, it happened like on Wednesdays, and that's what. Yeah.
Or goat.
So yeah, poor goats. That's yeah. Anyway, I feel like we're gonna start World War III on this YouTube stage.
Well, and I also hear that there's a certain group of men that, although they don't mind receiving, they don't give. And
yeah,
that's more popular than I would imagine. I mean, I learned that a lot on Spaces. I was surprised how many.
wait, they were talking about that on Spaces. It's awesome.
Well, sometimes Spaces would get just downright nasty at night. During the day it was all Veve and OMI, but then at night, like all the freaks came out and yeah. Oh God. Yeah. And as a matter of fact, I know the term getting pegged. So when you were talking about the thing,
strap on.
I'm like, I knew that from Spaces because that's what I learned in Spaces. How one girl had like this secret fantasy to do this to her husband. And I was like, does he know? And she's like, no, but I like really want it. And I'm like, why? She's like,
ask him. Just ask him to do it, So there's a I mean I'm gonna bust the rumor that I'm a virgin here, and I'll tell you actual stories. I'm what's called like a minute man, where it's over really quickly. So I got really good at, I don't know if you could see, and apparently it's like a cool party trick where I can go and I guess there's something that's not attached on my tongue, and I can move my tongue really quickly. And so in order for me to be like good, I do that for however long it takes for the first, second, third, etc. And then, when I go in and then I'm done like really quickly, she still thinks I'm good because I, got really good at the first thing.
Right. That's good. That's good. You take care. You took care of what you needed to, and then okay, that's good.
There's also a I do not like receiving because I can tell exactly where this trauma started.
Oh my God, are you serious? You're like the first man I've ever heard say that in my life.
Well, there's a reason for it. It's funny now, but it was in
Did you get big?
I was 19. It was 2010, my first apartment, and it wasn't like a little like, oh, you got a little tooth in there. It was like didn't ask me about it, and I didn't like react. It was like instinct. So I'm standing there. I was like, ah! And I just right in the side of the head.
You punched her in the head.
I did not. I was like, because I just reacted, and then something was down there. I was like, oh, and needless to say, that relationship did not work out. I had teeth marks. She was like straight up not having a good time, and so since then, I'm so concerned that every woman is like a psyop secret agent that's just ready to take me down. So I will never again let a woman do that. Yeah, there's unless like she just had like dental surgery, she's about to get veneers and she has no teeth. There's no, there's it's not happening.
Hold on, let me take out my dental surgery. We have crack horse on a couple towns over, and that's like the special. They don't have any teeth.
Ran into that in New Jersey when me and my friends were walking in Atlantic City just one night, and we struck up a conversation with these three ladies of the night, and they were so funny. They were so chill. One lady had about 5 teeth, so there were more people in conversation than teeth that she had.
Teeth?
And there's this one guy, I won't say his name, we'll call him Z. Z was a virgin, and And Z just had I mean, we weren't going to let him do these gals. We would eventually let him do a higher class fraud, but um, he's like, oh, and this one of this lady's like, King's like, oh, I'm a professional with virgins. Like, you ain't no professional. And she's like, yeah, I did. I went professional last month. She's like, oh, I forgot you went professional. Like the banter between these ladies were really, really funny. Um, but she wanted to take him, and she wanted to steal his seed. I could tell. Um,
I still can't get over you punching her. But you know that I would imagine that's probably, just a natural reaction. Like I remember one time Max bit me. He was little. He was only like he wasn't even a year old.
do you
But
punch
he
him?
bit me. And you know what I did? I did not punch him in the side of the head. But okay, and I've never hit like this was the only time I ever even hit him in his entire life. But he bit me so hard and so
Mhm.
fast that my instinct, I just like popped him like in the mouth. Like I didn't like hit him, but I did enough to sting where you like kind of like, and then you pop back, like I popped him. And he looked at me and his eyes got real big and he started screaming, but he never bit me again. And I felt horrible because there was no conscious decision whatsoever. Like if there would have been any consciousness, I would not. I mean, he was 1 year old for goodness sake. Like you don't hit a kid, but it was just like
Yeah.
it was so instinctual, and obviously enough of the mother kicked in there where like I pulled it, just so
Yeah.
it kind of like it scared him and popped him, but like it happened so quick, and and that was just my reflex, and that's literally the only time I could think I ever hit him. And I wouldn't even say I hit him, but it was like he just bit me so hard, and it was just instinct. Like as soon as I was like, pop, and I popped him on the mouth, and like his little eyes got so big, and he just started crying. Like what? But
Well,
like
what
I
do we
said,
learn?
he never did bite me again, but it was unconscious. Like it
I,
was not conscious.
I think there's something to say about um, kind of letting kids learn in that way where I don't remember this too much. I remember my mom was cooking, doing something, and I wanted to touch the light on in the stove or whatever,
Mhm,
and it's like, no, you don't do that. I was like, but I want to, and I
mhm,
guess I said it a few times
mhm.
where eventually she's like, okay, and I burned the fudge out of my hands, and then I never did it again. So I feel like you know you got to let them learn.
Unfortunately, I think with some kids and some things, you do have to just let them learn.
Yeah.
Um, some kids just have that behavior where they're just going to do it no matter what you say, and sometimes you just have to be like, oh, okay, I kind of get that. I mean, I would try very hard too, but I think I'd be the same way. After so long, it's like if you're not going to quit, then have at it, champ. You know, don't put your face on it.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. No, I
That's
get
what
that.
this kind of scares me about, if I ever have a kid too, it's like, try to get like the best of things. And then I had a couple friends that just they were dumb when they were younger, and they got in a lot of trouble, and they got into things that they shouldn't have gotten into, and they paid the price for it for years, and they're better now, but sometimes that happens, and you're not in jail for like a year, you're in jail for like 10, 15 years. Or yeah, you were addicted to heroin, and then you got over it, but some people don't. And it's
Right.
like, oh man, like I don't know, where do you draw that line? Where do you go? Like, I don't know. That's really, I don't know. You say like, hey, don't the crack ain't the way, or doing that. But then I don't know. Some kids get,
But you can't help it, right? I mean, once
yeah,
you're out of the house or once even before that, I mean, you can't be with them 24/7. I mean, eventually you have to let them grow up and, what do you do? I mean, it's not like you could lock them in a basement or in a room. I mean, I'm sure parents have to struggle with that all the time where they know their kids are addicted to drugs but they can't, what can you do? I mean, and that sucks though when they're lost so quick. Um, And I don't even necessarily believe it's the. What did he say?
Oh, it says in 2010, I was only 10. Sheesh.
Oh, those people born in 2000.
Yeah. It's wild.
I still can't believe though. Never ever did you ever try again.
No, I mean, there were a couple of
Maybe with
times where
Nastascia. Nastascia.
and she would be the last, but she was very violent. She, she would, I'd just be like chilling, like taking a shower, and she'd just jump me and put me in an armbar, and I'd be like, "What the fuck?" And she'd be like, "You must always be ready." And I was like, oh, "Hey, I'm just trying to clean myself." Um, she would come home from like work, like learning new phrases, like give me the D, and it's like, and who's teaching you these things, Nastascia?
Give me the D.
Yeah,
Jeez. Oh, Randy, that's funny.
good times.
That's funny.
I remember I got like banned on Facebook for this because there was. Tell me if I've told this story about me picking up women, like physically picking them up.
I can't remember. I think you've told me you used to do it. You picked me up
Oh
and
yeah,
and a
well that
couple
was
other
dancing,
people at
you
at
know.
at, at the Veve party
Yeah,
last year. Okay,
yeah.
no, go ahead.
So there was this, and it's happened before, where women would say like, "Oh wow, wasn't expecting that." But there was this one girl, Ari, in like 2020. She was just sitting on the windowsill, just looking good. So I decided to pick her up and throw her on the bed. And she's like, and she was tall. She's like 5'9", so maybe she's like 150. So she wasn't like 100 pounds. She was just a little heavier because she was tall and she wore it
Right.
well. So she's like, I've never had any of my boyfriends pick me up, and she's like not the only girl that has said that to me. So I make a post on Facebook, be like, "Men, what are you doing? Like, you got to start lifting. Like, you got to start. Like, there are too many women that are saying my boyfriend's never picked me up because he can't pick me up. And maybe because the girls are really large. I don't know, but none of the ones that I was with were like really large. And I made a post, and it was like considered hate speech about like skinny men, and like they banned me for like a week. I was like, what? But yeah, I was so salty about that.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah,
I think a man that can like just scoop up a woman, yeah. I totally recommend that. So yes, scoop your woman up if you can. If you
got
can't, I'm sorry. I don't know.
Yeah, gotta start lifting.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like we talked mostly debauchery and maybe like 20 minutes about me. uh,
We
which
did.
is yeah, I mean, which is fine. These conversations are kind of fun. You scrape the Booth says, if you scrape the teeth, we punch. No, it wasn't. This was a bite, Booth. This wasn't just a scrape that we've all experienced. Um, yeah, yeah. Bitforex is just down there doing some maintenance issues. Anything you want to go over before we bounce and end it?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, anything you wanted to go over before we bounce?
Oh, I thought you said no, not yet. Not on camera yet. I haven't talked to you
Okay.
for
Yeah. We'll talk off camera.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Everyone, say bye bye to Dashi. Thank you for the super chat. Bye bye, Dashi.